On tonight's show, we have Veterinarian Tierra D. Price. And now for your host, KoolKard. Welcome everybody to episode 63. I am your host, KoolKard, and we're kicking it another week. Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every week, I'm bringing it to you guys. If anybody is on here watching that does not watch on a regular basis, I invite you to subscribe so I can continue bringing you the value that I get from my great guests that I bring on here. I have amazing guests that bring some great value. I'm telling you. And tonight is no different. All right? Tonight is no different. Oh, man. And this is near and dear to my heart. I have a veterinarian on here by the name of Tierra D. Price, and this is near and dear to me because a lot of people don't know that I was a veterinarian science major at one time. Yes, but I ran astray. I ran off for communications and media because I do media, right? Two passions though: love animals, love media, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But yes, without further ado, I'm not going to hold you too long. I'm not going to talk you to death. Let me bring her in with a nice warm welcome with one of my intros, and we're going to dig into her brain. Yes, Tierra D. Price, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate your presence tonight.
No, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes. So I know you just came off of a meeting, a little Zoom, and now I got you. So I hope you're not burnt out. We're gonna go a little bit. I won't hold you too long, but if the conversation is good, I'm not gonna stop it. Just gonna let you know that. Yes, indeed. So I got you on here, veterinarian, right? Like I said in the intro, this is near and dear to me. When Janelle told me about you, and she actually recommended you because I put out a little Instagram thing, and I was like, hey, tag some people, right? And she told me what you did, and I was like, man, beautiful, because that's right up my alley. Like, you're living the life that I could have been living. I don't regret changing because I do what I do, but I was there at one time because I have a love and affinity for animals. For me, I just couldn't see myself doctoring on them. I don't like to see them wounded. I don't like to see them hurting, so on and so forth. Like me personally, I switched from veterinarian science, right, to wildlife biology. And then I switched to communications because I was like, okay, I don't want to doctor on them, but I'll go to the Congo and help with the gorillas and do this and do that and just like wildlife conservation and stuff like that. So, but that didn't work out either. I switched over to media because I have a love for acting and film, and I was doing music at the time too, so I did that. But for you, great. I get to talk to you. I get to dig in to the day in the life of what you do, your journey. And for you, so like I was talking about for me when I was a child, I used to love animals. I still love animals. Like I could not live without animals. At one time, I think I owned like 10 at one time, like different animals. Yes. So for you, growing up, were you the same? Did you have a love for animals? Did you always have a pet?
Okay, so I definitely had a love for animals. I watched Dr. Dolittle.
Oh, wow.
I always wanted a guinea pig or a hamster. I wanted a dog so bad, but my mom, she was not having it. She's like, I'm afraid. Apparently she got chased by a dog on her bike when she was like 10.
That'll do it.
She's scarred for life. Yep. So she told me, you can have a fish. So I ran through the fish. I mean, I had a new fish like every month. And
wait, was that because they were dying or you were adding on?
So let's just say there's a real big reason I'm not an aquatic vet.
Listen, fish are the hardest to maintain. I'm telling you, like, I will not get fish to this day because I'm like, they all die. It's hard to keep the pH right. It's very hard.
And it's hard to figure out if they're living or if they're dead. One time, my mom, she thought my fish had died and she put it in the toilet, right?
Oh my God.
And she forgot to flush the toilet and she ran and got me a new fish because I was away somewhere.
Right.
She ran and got me a new fish. So when I came home, there was a fish, the fish in the tank, and I'm like, that one looks a little different, but whatever. I go to use the bathroom. My other fish is swimming in the toilet because she never flushed it and it wasn't dead.
Oh my God.
I was like, Mom, there's a fish in the toilet. And so she was caught. But that was the only animal she let me have was a fish. And every career day at school, dress up day, what you want to be when you grow up day. I showed up in my white coat with the stethoscope and with a stuffed animal, because if not, people assume, oh, you're going to be a physician. And I'm like, no. I'm going to be a veterinarian. And so
I got your picture up there right now.
That picture, oh my goodness, I love that little girl. I love her.
Yeah, I had to do it to you.
So cute. She's so cute. And I look at her and I'm like, girl, you didn't even know how to spell veterinarian, but you knew, right? She knew. So I love her for that. But yeah, so I didn't have a lot of pets growing up. Only fish. We had a dog for a little bit. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so.
Oh my goodness. So when did you finally get a chance to like nurture an animal if you weren't able to do it as a child?
Right. So my mom, she realized, Tierra's not going to stop bugging me about getting a pet. Mm-hmm. And I'm tired of hearing about it. And my uncle at the time was an animal control officer at the local animal shelter.
Right.
And I say animal control officer now because I know that that's the proper term. What did I call him when I was a kid?
Dog catcher.
Right. He was the dog catcher. So I went with him and ended up at the local shelter volunteering there. Mm-hmm. And I would sit in the room with all the puppies and just let them crawl on top of me. I would sit in the cat room, do the same thing. And it would be just so much fun. I loved it. So my mom would drop me off there in the morning, come in the summers, come pick me back up in the evening. And she was so funny. She would have towels laid out in the car. And when I got home, she's like, take those clothes off right as you hit the door. But I didn't care because I had all the animals I wanted at the shelter. And so I was like, I want to go back tomorrow. And the next day, I was even having her drop me off on Saturdays,
Wow.
Like, I want to shelter.
Wow. That is crazy. I never did all that. I had the animals though. That's the thing. I had the animals at the house. I had the dog, the bird. I never had a cat, but I had dog, bird, turtle, fish, hamster, guinea pig. I think I ever had a rat once. I'm telling you, I wanted a ferret. Oh my God, I wanted a ferret so bad. I really did. I never got a ferret though. But yeah, I had a lot of animals. And I don't know. I just knew it. Like you, I just knew like that's what I want to do. That's what I want to be. But then I started thinking to myself like, you know what? I don't know if I can stomach seeing them hurt all the time or doctoring on them, So then I was like, I kind of shifted my focus to just, conservation and stuff like that. And I want to start up a charity for like wildlife conservation, animal conservation and stuff like that, and preservation. So I'm looking to do that because that's still near and dear to my heart. Like I love animals. I have my dog now. My dog, I feel like a vet right now. My dog's dying of cancer. Yeah. I mean, but he's handling it well. He's not like running around just, But he's a pill popping puppy. Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep him comfortable.
Nice. So. Oh, well, he has a good dad taking care of him and helping him through those last days. That's really important that he enjoys those moments.
Yeah, I think he's starting to lose his mind a little bit though, because when he wakes up, he kind of doesn't know where he is, and then he wants to snap at you.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, I think, but once he wakes up, he's fine. But yeah,
Yeah.
he's old, man. He's what I think he's going on 13. So
Wow.
yeah, he's going on 13. He's a Jack Russell Terrier. And
Oh, and
yeah,
I bet he lived a crazy, energetic,
yes,
fun, jumping
yes. Every time he
life.
go out and use the restroom, he would start racing around the backyard, streaking. Come inside and do the same thing, but not so much anymore. But yeah,
Yeah.
those,
Wow.
those are the times, man. So full of life. I mean, he still got some life in him, but
Yeah.
he's fading. But I feel
It's
like a vet right now, just trying to keep him, comfortable and
right.
alive, pretty much.
Right, because you're probably caring for him around the clock, So
Yeah, yeah, he's a needy dog. Now he can't really hold his bowel too much, so I gotta
okay.
watch him so he doesn't do anything in the house. So
Yeah.
I used to like he got me a couple times. I'm not gonna lie, but it's like I gotta put that on myself though. I have to adjust because I know he's
Right.
that need. You know what I mean? So I gotta look for the signs. I gotta kind of see what his schedule is now. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
I can't put him.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I try to put him outside in his crate, right? Or just put him outside, period. He's barking, howling. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just
Yeah.
peace. You
He's
can't
like,
put
don't do that to me.
right. Right. You can't put him in a crate. He's howling, growling, barking. Oh, I'm like, oh my God, I can't win.
Yeah. But it's funny that you mentioned you're like, I love animals, but I don't think I can stomach doctoring them.
Mhm.
And that is a key component in choosing this career because I have a strong interest in science.
Okay.
I love practicing medicine. I think it's so fun every day to be like, okay, we're gonna take a little bit of this and a little bit of this and do this and do this, and then they come back and they're better, or you call them back and they're better.
Right.
But it does take a toll on you because sometimes you're like, I haven't seen anything healthy. I haven't just seen a really fun, healthy dog. So we'll go stretches without them unless they're coming in for just a wellness visit or something.
Right.
But it has to be the combination of the two. Without that science medicine component, there are a bunch of other animal health or pet industry, animal industry careers that you can take.
Right.
So yeah, so that was smart on your part to recognize like I don't know if
Yeah, I wouldn't have had a good quality of life with like that, like 'cause I care too much. You know what I'm saying? Like I carry the weight of the world on my shoulders. That's why I don't watch the news, all that type of stuff. Like I can't do it because it weighs me down. It really does. I'm all about energy.
Mhm.
I can tell how a person's feeling before they even know how they're feeling when you walk in the room, type of thing.
Yeah.
So it's all about energy. If the energy is wrong, I can't be there. If it's not right, it's just, it don't, it weighs me down. So with the animals, man, I'm telling you, I'd come to work and I'd just be like, can't do it, man. I'm dying. Seeing these animals hurt and stuff. Because the thing is, it's like unconditional love with these animals. That's why I love animals so much because they act off instinct. It's not off emotion. They don't hate on you. You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't dislike
Right.
you. It's if they're biting you, it's instinctive. It's because they feel they're in fear, or it's just an instinct that they eat people or they eat other animals. You know what I'm saying? Like, or they're hungry.
Yeah.
So it's unconditional love. So it's like I don't even understand how people could hurt animals in that sense though. Like just outright just hurting animals. I understand. You whatever, you gotta slaughter animals or eat them or whatever. But I'm just talking about like just abuse them. Like how could you do that?
Exactly.
How do you abuse a dog and then as soon as you walk through the door, he's running right back to you with all the love in the world, and you just
is, yeah. For me, I'm like it completely blows my mind sometimes. When I hear about cruelty cases or certain types of things happening, and I'm like, I can't wrap my mind around it. It's so hard because, like you said, the animal doesn't. I mean, every single time they're gonna wake up and love you even more than they did the day before.
Yep.
And so it just doesn't make any sense. And a lot of times, what we see, there's the cruelty world and then there's the neglect world.
Yeah.
And sometimes the neglect, there's a lot of love there. but they just don't know how to care for them, or
Yeah.
they don't have the means to care for them.
Yeah.
And that is just such a sticky situation also, because you're thinking, you know, can't you see this animal's in pain or suffering?
Right.
But, you know, they're kind of blinded by that love, and, you know, so.
I mean, listen, I look at it like this. There's just unfit people in the world, period. Because if there's unfit mothers who can't recognize symptoms and the signs of children, and they neglect their children, you know it's going to happen with a dog or a cat or whatever, you know? So it's just sad. Like, some people just aren't fit. They should know better. Somebody should step in, intervene, and save the animal, and just say, hey, listen. You know, and sometimes it could be a fight, because animals are like people's children. So they don't want to let them go. But somebody has to do something to step in and say, hey, this dog or cat, whatever, deserves better, needs more, and needs better, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. Crazy. So you went to UConn first, right? Undergrad.
Yep.
You danced, all that.
Yes.
I got a dance video too on the show.
Oh my goodness! You should have told me. I would have brought my little moves. No.
I'm gonna show a little dance video. Oh my God!
You're cracking up laughing now. I'm a little nervous about.
Nah, it's an older video. You were doing your thing. Matter of fact, look, it's a good segue. Let's go check you out. Let's go check you out. Hold on, I'm gonna put you up real quick. I'm not going to take away from you. I'm just going to put it up in the corner. You're not even going to see it. So don't worry. It's okay.
Yeah, so I danced at UConn, obviously, with Janelle.
Yeah.
And Janelle was my heart and soul there. We danced together for 1 year. For those of you that don't know, it's Black History Month, and Janelle Mason was the first Black dancer on the UConn dance team. Oh
wow, I did not know that.
Yep, and I featured her for Black History Month a couple years ago because I thought it was important. It is important.
Oh.
I was the second, okay?
Go Janelle. Go Tierra.
No, it's pretty crazy. The UConn dance team was established pretty late. So I think they were established in 2007. Okay. And so by 2000, I think 10 or 11, Janelle was there.
Okay. Gotcha.
But yeah, it was a fun time. Graduated from UConn and went to Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech. That's where you went to. That's where you did your master's and everything, right? How long does it take to get a degree in veterinary science, a master's?
Yeah. So I got my animal science degree at UConn, and then I went to Virginia Tech and got a doctor of veterinary medicine, and that was 4 years.
Okay.
And I also, in that 4-year span, completed my master's in public health.
Okay.
Usually the master's program takes, usually the master's program takes 2 years, but if you're already in vet school, you can kind of spread the 2 years out over the 4 with vet school, so it becomes like a little tiny piece onto each year.
Okay, got you. So it's not a heavy load. That's
right.
That's how you.
It's a little extra load, but it's not too crazy.
Okay, got you. So before we talk about BlackDVM Network, before we talk about that, because that's where you established that in school, correct?
Exactly.
And thriving and going strong now, and got people wanting to steal your name and all. We ain't gonna talk about that. But listen, you said something when you used to go to the dog pound, right? Mm-hmm. Is that what kind of got you favoring community veterinarian? Because I saw that on your bio. Yeah, talk about that a little bit. What is that?
Okay, yeah, of course. So all of my experience, probably like 90% of my experience before veterinary school was in shelter medicine. Okay. And shelter medicine is a whole nother beast because in private practice, which is what, owners like you, that's where you take your dog to a general practice, or maybe you take it to a specialty hospital now, but usually it's client with pet and they go into the office with an appointment. Right. Shelter medicine is different, right? Because we are managing hundreds of animals at once.
And are these animals, a lot of these animals are the neglected and the wounded and strays and stuff like that, right?
Right. We don't know where they came from. Maybe the owner surrendered them.
Okay.
You know, we don't have a good history on them. We don't even know how old they are most of the time, right?
Oh,
We're guessing.
right.
We're like, okay, the teeth, you know, all this. And so you're managing a bunch of animals. You're really trying to make sure that there aren't a bunch of contagious diseases being spread around.
Right.
You're trying to get these animals healthy enough to get adopted out. So you want to get them better very, very quickly. You don't want them in the shelter for a long time. So it's just a whole nother world. And so since most of my experience was in shelter medicine, I went through vet school. For a while, I wanted to do some nutrition stuff, wanted to do some food animal stuff, some cows, sheep, goats, pigs. I kind of wanted to work on a farm. I wanted to have my own farm. You know, my head was everywhere. Right. But in the end, I ended up circling back around to shelter medicine. Okay. And so now what I do is it's in the realm of shelter medicine, but I'm a community medicine veterinarian. And so I work for a large nonprofit, and we do high quality, high volume spay and neuter services. So all day we're in surgery, sterilizing animals to decrease the stray population here in Los Angeles.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar. I got my dog neutered, so yeah, I know. He was sad for about a week. He hated me. He wouldn't leave his pillow for like a week. He was sad. I was like, I'm sorry, man. I'm just trying to save your life, trying to prolong your life. So you're not running after tail, getting hit by cars, and you know, legitimate babies running around here.
No, seriously. And it's so funny because when we try to explain to owners, you know, why it's necessary, as people, we want, you know, the only way we can relate to a situation is to put ourselves in the situation. And it's not the same. You know, it's a little bit different. Because what we see is we end up seeing a lot of puppies in the shelter, a lot of tiny kittens that we have no home for. So, you know, the sterilization process is so important. And so that's what I do as a community medicine veterinarian. You know, spay and neuter surgeries. And then also we see appointments for wellness or for treatable conditions. And all of our services are free. And that's what makes it a community. That's what makes me a community medicine veterinarian, is that I'm providing subsidized services.
Okay. Do you feel like you are being more of service that way, working in that field as opposed to private practice?
So I will say that for me, it is so rewarding because I know that I'm helping people that want pets, right? And they love their pets, but they maybe can't afford for all of the out-of-the-pocket healthcare expenses that they have. Okay. As humans, we don't, because of the way human healthcare is set up, we have no idea how much our doctor's appointments cost. Right. You go in, you pay $20, $40 copay, and you're out. If you ever go back and look at that bill, that was a $1,000 appointment.
I know. I mean, hey, listen, the private veterinarians can get that way too, because if you go in and they say, oh, well, you know, we want to run blood, we want to do this, we want to do that, I'm like, hold on, slow down. How much does this cost? How much does that cost? Because look, we going a la carte right now. I don't know, whatever he needs right now, that's probably what we'll do. But all this other stuff you talking, nah, man. Because listen, you go into that cash register and they be like, oh, that'll be $1,200, like it's nothing. And I'm like, what? $1,200? Right. Need a payment plan.
And it's tough, and that's why sometimes I wonder, you know, do we need universal pet healthcare? Do we need a system similar to the human system? Because it really exacerbates the problem, because people don't bring their animals in on a regular basis. Like, it's free for me to go to my doctor and get a wellness or preventative type checkup, because they want me to do that to stay healthy. Right. Without that incentive in the pet world, we don't really see, you know, there aren't people that do annuals. You should, right? You should take your dog to the vet every year, but people don't. And so what do we see? We see really ill patients, and then it's like all of a sudden it's $5,000.
Yep.
And the hard thing for us to conceptualize is that we don't use different equipment than human hospitals. We use all the same stuff: the catheters, the needles, the tape. We have MRIs, we have CTs, we have radiographs, and so there's really no way, there's really no reason for pet healthcare to be any cheaper than human healthcare, because it's all the same supplies.
Right.
And my degree came in 4 years, just like a med student's degree came in, with the same amount of debt, but yet we still don't get paid as much. So it's this really, oh my goodness, it's just this like tug of war.
Yeah.
And it's where everything intersects. It's like client education, regular pet care, and like pet insurance. And in the center of all that, we've got really, really healthy, happy pets, clients, and vets.
Right.
but outside of that, it gets a little crazy.
It does get crazy. I went to Banfield one time and I never went back. They told me how much they were trying to charge me. I said, hell no. I said, hell no. It got to be a better way. I found a better way too.
There are so many black vets in Atlanta. I was just on the call with one.
I need to listen, I'll support. My dog, I mean, he's on his way out though. They told me really not to even bring him back. No, seriously, they were like, hey, just keep him comfortable. Keep him on the meds. And it is what it is. Like when I go to get his refills, I don't have to take him in for an annual or anything. They don't even want me to.
Yeah.
They're like,
right.
He's dying pretty much. So he lived a good one, He lived a good one. I think I'm gonna take a break after him.
Oh, a break first
from pets,
from animals.
Pets I am. Because it's probably gonna be hard for me, He's like my son.
Yeah, and he's 13. You've had him since he was a puppy?
Yeah, since a puppy, man. Since a puppy. I went to get him from a breeder, and when I showed up, he was running through the woods chasing deer.
As a puppy? Oh,
as a puppy with deer ticks and worms. I said, God dang. I brought him home and I got the things off of him and he had worms. I was like, oh my God. But we got him all good. He's been straight. He's been a house dog ever since. Spoiled. He doesn't want to.
Maybe you can get a cat.
Nah, I ain't doing no cat, man.
Oh.
I like cats. Don't get me wrong. I like cats. I love animals. Period.
Cat?
Because I grew up with cats. My grandmother used to feed the cats outside. She used to throw them slop. So I was the one, like every day there would be a new stray out there. And then down south of Mississippi, the houses are above the ground because of the floods, right? So I'm telling you, every day a new cat would come from up under that house. And it's like they would just like go get their homeboys and be like, hey, we know what a free meal is. Come stay with us. You know what I'm saying? So I was always around cats. I was always loving on them. The kittens, I'd take them and, love on them or whatever. So, I like cats. I just don't want one.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
I want one. I think I'm...
Yeah, I had a cat I was feeding in vet school.
Yeah.
He was a black and white tuxedo.
And he always came back. What'd you name him?
Oh, David.
Uh-huh.
David. That was my man. He's actually got some highlights. I think they're still up on my Insta story. I mean, people would be watching my story and be like, "Oh, I thought you were gonna post something of David." Like they were waiting
on him.
Again. And I was like,
"What happened to David?"
Oh, he's still living by my apartment. Yeah.
He's still a stray?
Huh?
He's still a stray by your apartment?
Oh yeah. Oh, he was the king of that place. Like he would let me pet him, but other cats would come up to me and I try to pet them and he would run over and swipe them so quick.
You serious?
And I have multiple videos of it.
Oh my
multiple videos
God.
of him fighting other cats.
Wow. Cause they were trying to steal his food.
That's what everyone says, but I choose to believe that he loved me, okay?
He probably did though. He probably did. He was protecting you.
for the food. He loved me for the food. I would feed him those little temptations. So he was
right. Quickest way to a man's heart, you know, it's the same thing.
Oh, there's plenty of Insta stories about David and the men in my life, because David would come in the house and eat, and then he would leave, and I wouldn't see him till the next day.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, just like all the other men in my life.
Oh, wow. Using you up.
Exactly.
So let's talk about BlackDVM Network.
Yes.
How did that birth? Like, where did that come from? What was it, a necessity? You felt it was a need, and what is it?
Okay, so BlackDVM Network, I started as an Instagram page back in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And back then I was a second year veterinary student. So if y'all don't know where Virginia Tech is, do you know where Virginia Tech is?
I know it's in Virginia.
Well, there's two parts of Virginia. There's like the Virginia that sits right next to DC,
Mm-hmm.
and then everything else. There's nothing else in the part of Virginia that's not close to DC.
And it's like rural. It's like,
it is the most rural. So,
okay.
Virginia Tech is in Blacksburg, Virginia, which is in the region southwestern Virginia.
I know what that region's all about. Say no more.
Yep, Appalachia. Okay,
yeah.
The Appalachian Mountains run through there. I think for a little while it had the highest rate of like opioid drug use, overdose, stuff like that.
Meth.
So it's an interesting area. I got a traffic ticket once, and I had to go to traffic school. And the people that were with me were telling me stories that I never would have thought.
Yeah, I got pulled over. I got pulled over through there for having a radar detector because they're illegal. And I was from Georgia, but he was like, "Well, you're in Virginia now." I'm like, "Really? I'm heading to New York, man. Like, come on." They don't care though.
The speeding laws, driving laws, or whatever in Virginia are the strictest in the entire country.
I know.
If you get like a reckless driving, you cannot get it taken off your record. I don't have that.
Are you serious?
Seriously, it's backwards to me, because it seems like they kind of trap people, you know what I'm saying, into becoming felons or whatever.
Basically, yeah. So
for telling the
do they still have the drones? The speed check drones?
So they say they do.
I don't believe they do.
Like on the signs, but I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They say they do on those signs, but I don't believe they do. I think it's just yeah. You know.
So I was living there.
Okay.
Blacksburg is only diverse because there's a university there. Outside of the university, there's not much diversity at all.
Mm-hmm.
And in my veterinary class, I was one of 5 Black veterinary students.
Oh wow.
And this is in a class of 127.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. So we're talking like one.
Not much to relate to there.
Exactly. And so I was really looking for, a community that I could relate to. Like you said, I'm like, where are my people? Because it was starting to wear on me mentally. I couldn't find my way. I was doing yoga. I was doing aerial yoga. I started running. I was running 5Ks. I explored everything, and I was still going crazy because I'm like, this just doesn't feel right. And I couldn't wait to get out of there. As soon as I was over, I'm like, LA.
You're right.
Los Angeles. But BlackDVM Network was really an Instagram page for me to be able to find other Black veterinary students and veterinarians, and then share them with the rest of the world and say, hey, look, here's so-and-so. Maybe there's someone out there that feels like me, right, and they need this page to see other people and to meet other people, right? Follow them, talk about, what they're doing, what experiences they've had. And as that page started to grow, what really started to become apparent was that there was a huge gap in resources for the Black veterinary community. And not so much the undergrads or the youth, but actually the Black veterinary professionals, the people that were making their way into the profession and the people that were already there.
Okay.
Because in veterinary medicine, there's just this huge disparity between the have and the have-nots. Like, you can come out of school and be an associate veterinarian and be, you know, drowning in your student debt, or you can come out of school, be gifted a practice or be given a practice and be thriving in year 5 because you own your own business, right?
Wow.
But where are, you know, how each person gets there is a little different. And usually it's that generational wealth or that network of people that you know who are going to hand you a practice when you get out of school. And so you know, after realizing that there was a lot that we, you know, a huge gap that needed to be filled, BlackDVM Network really just turned into this community for Black vet students, Black veterinarians, Black technicians, Black assistants, you know, really anyone that was working in the veterinary industry to connect and to learn about all kinds of things. Now, we do have a focus on what we think is the most important for the Black veterinary community, which is medicine first and foremost, wellness, because veterinarians are facing a mental health crisis all the time. The suicide rates are higher than any other profession.
Why am man, that's crazy. Because I just interviewed another doctor, and she does, I think she says psychology, something like that. But she said the same thing. She said mental health is like just crazy with doctors, like
with doctors,
suicide and what is going on. I mean, she explained it to me, but even with the vets.
Yep. And vets kind of have it worse because people like, we come into this profession because we love animals so much and we want to help them. But at the same time, we have people telling us that we're money hungry and we're greedy and we need to help their pets and we need to help their animals. And so a lot of vets end up giving, you know, doing stuff for free because they see an animal and you know, it's not the animal's fault. Right. But then they start to lose their business and now they can't take care of themselves. Like, their livelihood is being threatened.
They've done one too many favors.
Exactly. And with the mountain of debt you have that you're looking at and a salary that barely, like, doesn't match up with it at all. Becoming a human doctor is a great investment because you can pay those loans off 2-3 years if you really want to. Yeah. For vets, it's still a 30-year, 40-year investment, you know?
Oh man.
To pay off the loan. So we focus on medicine, wellness, financial literacy, because we see that the intersectionality of being Black and being in veterinary medicine, financial literacy is probably really important. Entrepreneurship and professional development. And so, you know, the hope is that we'll get Black vets, Black technicians, Black assistants out here, you know, on their state boards, on their local chapter boards, as practice owners, buying practices, starting new businesses, starting new nonprofits and rescues, and just thriving, you know?
Have you ever thought about reaching out to like some sponsors and doing a conference? Bring more people together?
Yeah, so we did a little bit of a virtual conference this summer.
Okay.
We're always looking for sponsors. Okay. We're always looking for partners. We have a lot to offer our partners. And so, we're always looking for partners, but you know, we always want to bring in more people. Now, the unique part about our community is that we want people who want to invest in themselves and who want to grow. So it's not a community that you get to sit back and watch in, right? It's a community that you participate in, that you come saying, I have goals and I want to achieve them, and we help you get there. We have people that we call guides that will help to guide you, right? They're kind of like something between a mentor and a coach, and they will help to guide you on that path because they've been there.
Okay.
So we're really looking for people who are ready to invest in themselves, right? And not just say, oh, I'm a part of this group, but really show up and, achieve the things that you set out to do.
So how many members do you have currently, and how can someone join?
Yeah, so the purpose of BlackDVM Network is to empower Black veterinary professionals. That's the bottom line. But we have membership available to everyone. Okay. So we have memberships for non-Black veterinary professionals and non-veterinary professionals. And that's our Friends membership for people to be able to connect with our community, because we understand how important it is at that interface for our members to be connected with the outside world. Right. And we don't want to be the rate limiting step for that, right? We don't want everyone to have to come directly through our info inbox and we share that news. We want people to actually build meaningful relationships in there. So that's our Friends membership for anyone. And then we have for our Black veterinary professionals a community membership, and our community members come and they connect with others and they kind of take control of their own success. So they come to the events that they want to come to, they have their own profile. It's kind of like a build your own path, right? Okay. build it your own way.
Right.
And then our success members, we spend a little bit more time with them. That's where our guides come in. We help them with goal setting and goal achieving. We figure out, what is it that you want to do? How can we help you get there? And we have these calls that, dig deep into topics, right? Like small business loans, or all the different ways that you can pay your student loans off, or all the different ways you can get forgiveness, Okay. So we dig deeper into these topics with our success members and really help them to carve out that plan. And then we also have a corporate membership for companies that are looking to connect with members, mainly around employment, but for other opportunities also. And so if anyone wants to join, it's on our website, BlackDVMNetwork.com. And then we have some headings at the top, and become a member will tell you all about our memberships.
Okay, cool. Now, I do want to know what does it take other than money? What does it take to get your own private practice?
Oh man. So with all the corporate players these days,
I was gonna say, are there gatekeepers like in any other industry where it's harder for certain people?
So it's tough. Do you know? Are you so Banfield is one of the big players, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're a good company, but do you know who owns most of the veterinary practices in the United States? Mm-mm. There's a company that does. And they're not a veterinary related company.
Wow.
Mars Chocolate.
Are you serious?
What's the
They saw dollar signs and was like, let's buy them up. Wow. They own Banfield too?
Yep.
Wow. And Banfield to me is like the most commercial. The most commercial product you can get when it comes to veterinarian clinics, and their prices show that. Their prices reflect that.
Yeah, I want to say Mars owns Banfield, VCA, and Blue Pearl.
Wow, it's all business. It's all dollars.
Yeah. So what do you need? So you definitely need money. You need real estate if you're gonna build a clinic. If you're gonna buy a clinic, you basically just need money, and you need to figure out: are you going to be the only veterinarian there? Mm-hmm. How long is it going to take you to make enough money to hire another associate? And I think that's where people get caught up in the rat race, because you have to overcome that threshold of making enough money to hire someone else.
Right.
If not, you can't. I mean, you can run a solo practice, but those are the people that sometimes overwork themselves.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're working six days a week.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, money, supplies. I'm not a practice owner, and I would love to learn more about practice ownership, in the way of like overseeing and managing practices. So if I learn about anything else that you need to have a practice, I'll let you know, because I'm like, I can't think of, it doesn't, outside of money, it doesn't take much. You just have to have it,
Yeah. I mean, because you have all the other tools, you have the knowledge,
Right.
the skills, you seem like you're business savvy, so I'm pretty sure you can put a staff together if you needed to, or you could just run it yourself if you needed to. So yeah, it all boils down to money. When you have money, you can make whatever happen, whatever you want happen, but so you do desire to have one day?
I think so. I think it would be really fun to set that environment, to set that culture.
Yeah.
I think it would be. We'll see. Yeah.
I think it would be, because it, like you said, you could set the environment, you could set the stage, and you can make it whatever type of world in there that you want it to be, and all the things that you probably see that could be done better in places of employment where you've witnessed or whatever. You can learn by example and just create your own world, and it could be a fun place for people to come to bring their pets. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, we could have a little like doggy brunch bar,
Exactly.
I'm obsessed with brunch.
A little spa and all types of stuff. Just all types of different.
Ooh, and I'm obsessed with coffee too. So a little coffee shop.
Yes.
Get a little espresso while your dog's getting an exam.
There you go.
See? They already have those cat cafes,
I've heard. Yeah, I've heard of those. Yeah, I've heard of
But apparently you don't like cats, so...
No, I didn't say I don't like cats. I just don't want one. I don't want one running around here.
I can't separate those two statements.
Digging into my carpet, climbing and hanging from my goddamn curtains. On my couch, just because they just pull up and just start. Right. Like, no, go do that to your little...
Or a scratching post.
Yeah, but you know how they get defiant sometimes. It's like children.
Those are called enrichment.
They know what they're supposed to be doing, but then they come gnaw your couch up. They know it.
You saw I once snuck a litter of 5 kittens into my mom's house when I was working at the shelter over the summer. And she was not very happy. And it wasn't until like 2 years later that she realized they had ruined the bottom side of the couch, the underside of the couch, because
I knew you were going there. Yeah, because they were up under there just like this.
Yeah. And then we had these big plants in our house. They were huge plants. And they preferred that over the litter box.
Oh my God, are you serious?
All 5 of them.
You lucky you didn't get kicked out with them.
Right.
For real. So with the like owning a practice, and like you said, if you learn more stuff about it, is that something that you're gonna start teaching? I don't know if it's teaching. I don't know if I'm using the right word, but like with BlackDVM, is that something that you'll start preparing others to go towards?
Yeah, so there's so much that I want to learn about vet med, and I really hope that what people see for BlackDVM Network is that I don't have all the answers. I'm brand new to this, and so we're gonna bring in people who have already done it, and we're gonna go on this journey together. And by together, it's like me and these other people. And so as I learn about practice ownership, I definitely hope to shed that light to others and show other people what I've learned, but then also just be on the other side of the screen and be sitting and listening and learning from the people that we are able to round up. So definitely practice ownership, I think, is so important and so key to at least talk about. Yeah. I also think it's really important because veterinarians are not as creative as we should be.
What do you
mean? That's another story. So the way the veterinary school application process is set up, it selects for very type A people. Okay? People who are like plug and chug, formula, textbook, read the instructions and do it.
Yeah.
And so you ask someone to try to do something like outside of that, and it's chaotic, right?
Okay.
When you are practicing as a veterinarian, you get very creative with the medicine.
Yeah.
You get very creative with your practice because you're given these tools and you're like, all right, mix and match. But as far as thinking outside of the box and like being innovative in veterinary medicine, I think that we still have so far to go. And so I want to open people up to being creative, to being innovators, and to finding ways that they can create businesses in vet med that maybe aren't practices, right? Like,
right.
What are some other ways that you can bring value to people with the education and knowledge and skill set that you have?
Yeah.
And I think that the first step into getting creative in that way is to clear our minds, right? To get really in touch with ourselves, get in touch with our intuition, and feel good in that wellness space.
Yeah.
To open up some time and some space for creativity.
Throw the textbook out.
Yeah. And just sit and just think. I mean, that's why I love LA. I can drive up to Malibu and just like waves. And I'm like, oh, like,
stop. You're rubbing it in. Stop it. You know, I just told you I miss LA. You know, I told you that.
I don't know why you left.
Stop rubbing it in.
Who left LA and who came and stayed, okay? It's a beautiful place. It is. I can't even lie.
Cut it out. Lord Jesus, cut it out. Oh, man, I miss it. I got to get back out there soon. I got it. Yeah.
It's sunny. It's always sunny here, you know. It's always sunny. It was 76 degrees, 78 degrees today.
Yeah, I know. Stop it. Cut it out. For real, cut it out. Oh my God. Yeah, anyway, enough about LA.
You're like having withdrawals, I can see it.
Yeah, enough about LA. I want to know, what's the worst case you've seen with an animal coming in? Hurt, injured, infected, beaten?
Okay. So I'll tell you guys about a really interesting case that we had. It's not any means the worst, but it's very interesting, okay? So we get a dog that comes in. Owner complains of skin problems.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I take a look at the dog and I'm like, you know, there are some issues with the skin, but I noticed that the testicles, the scrotum area is very large.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I think we have another problem. You know, this area is very large, much larger than it should be. And the owner's like, you know, we actually just got this dog a few months ago and we don't know, you know, it seems like it's been growing. I'm like, oh man, that's never a good sign, right? Growing max. And this is a dog, probably like middle-aged pit bull kind of dog. So I'm like, man, you know, it's a conversation we got to have. And so I recommend the dog needs to be neutered. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first step. And they say, well, can you guys do it here? And I'm like, it's a bit of a risky one because it's larger than it should be.
Right.
So I talked to, you know, some people and they say, oh, we can do it here. It's fine. We'll figure it out. So we take the dog back. And as the dog's getting neutered and, you know, we open up the scrotum and everything, we notice that one testicle is much larger than the other. And so the doctor that was in surgery, she decides to open up the sac to see like what is going on in here.
Right.
And what we actually found was abdominal contents this dog, this dog had actually herniated part of its abdominal contents into its scrotum.
Oh.
So it was one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
How do you?
And I was, wow.
How do you explain that though? How do you? What?
So honestly, it's really not that far-fetched, because the way the bodies work, especially the bodies in males, is that, you know, the reproductive organs are outside of the body, right? So they had to fall. They start off inside and then they come out.
Yeah.
So they have to fall through some opening.
Right.
So there is an opening, right, in the inguinal area. There are openings there, but usually the muscles around them are so tight that nothing else comes through.
Right.
But in this case, the muscles had kind of weakened and there was a hole that was made, and so, and it right into the scrotum. Crazy.
Oh my God! Were you guys able to fix it?
Yeah. So we were able to push everything
Oh.
back up there. So it's funny because my boyfriend, my partner, he's not big on animals. He's not a big animal person.
Mm.
But when I told him that story, he was like, he had that epiphany moment where he's like, man, that is so crazy. I can't believe that happened to him. And, I feel bad for him. I want to just pet him and cuddle him. He had probably such a rough time. The dog didn't seem painful though.
Yeah.
So, he probably like, something's weird is happening, but whatever. There's a squirrel. I don't care.
Oh my.
But yeah.
Yeah. He must have been in pain.
He didn't seem painful, but it's hard to tell. Animals are so stoic. They hide pain so well.
Yeah.
So it's
my dog, he walks into my knee with his head all the time, and he just And I'm telling you, he's lost all type of muscle mass. You know what I mean? Because he's sick. And I'm like, man, that has to hurt, because you're nothing but bone right now.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Oh my goodness. So what is next for BlackDVM? Like, where are you trying to take it from where you are right now?
So, I really want to get us into a nice groove of finding out what people want to achieve in vet med. What are their goals and how can we really help them? And sometimes it seems simple. You can ask someone, what do you want to achieve? But what I've realized is that sometimes we don't even know our potential, right? Like, we have no idea. And so if you ask someone who has not realized their potential, what they want to achieve, they're like, I've already arrived. And that's not, that's not always the case. And so we're really trying to nail down what would be the catalyst for people, right? To level up in vet med. And so we want to get in a groove of having these events that are meaningful. We have a lot of events, but we want to have these events that really hit the nail on the head. And then we want to start putting together packages for people, whether that's a 6-week type of intensive thing where, people can really, really learn and kind of like a workshop.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where we're headed. And then constantly forming partnerships and collaborating and figuring out how can we work with all these other organizations, right? And where do our missions overlap, and how can we, work in that space to make a difference?
Yeah. That and I just got an idea for you too. You listen to your talk. What about when everything opens up? What about doing like BlackDVM Black Veterinarian cruises? Ways, destination trips to resorts, like, because when I travel to the Caribbean a lot. Janelle, you know Janelle, yeah. So if you know Janelle, that's what we do. So, but when I'm out there, I'll see groups, and it'll be doctors or it'll be whatever, but it could be Black veterinarians. And I'm telling you, when you put that out into the universe and you start posting the pictures on Instagram and on social media, and other groups start to hear about what you're doing, and it's fun at the same time, and it's business, and you're connecting and you're growing as a community, I think that'll help you get more members. I think that'll help put more eyes on you from people outside looking in, even groups that aren't Black. They'll want to do business with you because they'll see that, you know what, these people are not waiting around on us, and they've got, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But everybody, when you got something moving and you're having fun and you're having a time of your life, you look like you don't have a care in the world, people know what you got going on. They curious, like, what are they doing over there that they're just so happy and carefree, and they're taking these trips? And I'm telling you, I really think that could be something that could benefit you guys.
No, I love that idea. And I've seen, Black Travel Club or Black Doctors Lounge. There was another one, Jet Black or something. I'm signed up for all these groups and stuff. And I love that idea. I think it's such a great idea. And sometimes, you just need to get out and have fun. Yeah. But sometimes it's hard because, like, if I want to talk about, oh man, my job kind of sucks, or this happened at work, veterinarians, there's not many people. Like, if I told you, like, yeah, I had this dog, its abdomen was in its scrotum, you're like, I'm sorry, I cannot relate. Like, ma'am, I think you are oversharing.
Right. Yeah, I'd be like,
so it's nice. And BlackDVM Network, we do aspire to be, at the same time, a lifestyle type of group, to where people, because sometimes in the Black community, veterinarians feel a little ostracized because people are like, you like animals that much?
Yeah.
You care about animals that much?
And like, you don't?
Right.
That'll be my answer. Like, you don't? Like, what the hell's...
What kind of monster are you?
Right. People, man.
You get it. You get it.
Oh yeah, I get it for sure. Yeah. I get it. I've gotten it for a long time. I get it. I just couldn't operate on,
There's another there's a vet actually in in Atlanta, that is also an actor.
Really?
Yep.
What's his name? Him? Her?
Yep, him. His first name is James. I'm not sure his last name. But on Instagram, he's Dr. Actor. Dr._actor.
Dr._actor? I'm gonna go follow him just because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should.
I gotta go follow my fellow actor.
You guys are kind of, James Hayes.
James Hayes? That sounds familiar, actually. James Hayes?
Yeah.
Maybe it sounds familiar because it's like Hayes might be common. I don't know, but it does sound familiar. But I'm gonna go check him out.
Yeah.
Follow him. I'm gonna tell him you sent me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell him you sent me. Well, listen, I'm not gonna take up too much of your time. It's been wonderful speaking with you. We've been on here for what, an hour now? Didn't even feel
an hour. Yeah. We've been talking about a lot.
Yeah.
We dropped a lot.
I told you we're gonna kick it, and the times it's gonna go. Right? We kicked it for sure. No, but I really appreciate you coming on, sharing all of that knowledge, that wealth of knowledge for the viewers and for myself as well. Yeah, I got to dive into the day in the life and experience what you experienced through you, living vicariously through you. So I never got to do it. But yeah, no, seriously though, very informative. I appreciate you coming on and sharing all that. Appreciate your time. Thank you. Everybody go follow Tierra at Tierra DP on Instagram. Also, BlackDVM Network on Instagram. Go check out what they're doing. They're doing great things. All positivity, man. I love it. I love it. Yeah, definitely check her out. Follow her. Tap into what she's doing. She's loving the animals. Anybody that loves animals is good with me. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'll tell you that for real. There's one last thing I want to do, and I'm gonna start doing this. It starts with you. I want to do a picture. So I need you, and this is gonna be the screenshot that I'll use when I post stuff on Instagram of the show. So
okay.
I want us to hold a shot for like 2 seconds, so I can just snap it and do what I need to do with it. So
Okay.
I'm gonna let you choose. You want to do something silly? You want to do something serious? You want to be
I
all
don't
business?
know what. No, you're the media person.
How
You
you
have to choose.
feeling? How are you feeling? Because I'm always silly. Well, let's do something silly.
Okay. Okay.
Something you can be proud of for me to post though.
Okay. So that scratches off the first three ideas.
I'm gonna post it. So,
Okay. 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 Well, I don't know what to do.
just do the first thing that comes to mind.
Ooh, this hoodie is like so cute. I love it. Okay, I'm ready.
All right. What? Oh wait, hold on. We gotta get leveled. You just rose up and now you're above me. We gotta level up. Okay, there we go. Boom. All right. 1, 2, 3. All right, good.
Why do we both do the same thing?
I
Or did
don't
you
know,
just
but
do
it
what I
works
did?
though. It works. You want to do it again?
Wait, I need to shout out. I need to shout out Janelle's dog Oreo.
Shout out Oreo.
All right. This shout out is for Oreo, Janelle's dog. He's black and white, and I love him. And so does Janelle and Zara and all the Masons. So love you, Oreo.
Well, if you gotta shout out Oreo, I gotta shout out BJ because I think BJ's from the same litter. I think I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong, but they're the same breed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who's
Her aunt owns the dog.
okay.
My mother-in-law.
Okay.
Yeah, same dog. Listen, name 10 breeds of dogs.
Okay. Okay. This is from best to worst. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's go.
Okay. German Shepherd, Pit Bull, Siberian Husky, Cane Corso,
Mm-hmm.
Golden Retriever, Shih Tzu, Yorkie, Chihuahua, American Bulldog, English Bulldog. I'm sorry. The English Bulldog is at the bottom.
They're at the bottom.
Yeah.
Aye.
Because
they don't do shit.
they have the worst smelling farts.
Oh my god.
And then they have all these skin issues and they have all these wrinkles and like it's just and they snort just like when they're awake. They're like
Yeah, like a Boston Terrier. What's that? Right? No, I appreciate that. You are on your ish. You were like, yeah, let's go. Boom, 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 boom. You know your stuff. I appreciate that.
I hope I do.
Oh, you should. You better.
Right.
You better. What about cats? I know nothing about breeds of cats.
I mean, there's like Persian, there's the hairless one.
Those are ugly as hell.
Oh my god, they're so creepy. there's like the Egyptian ones. And then there's the fluffy ones. Maine Coon.
I'm learning something.
The Bengals. Have you seen the Bengals? Those are gorgeous.
Yeah. I've seen them on Instagram. Never seen them in real life.
Yeah, my friend has one. They're gorgeous. And then there's domestic short hair, domestic medium hair, and domestic long hair.
Oh, you're cheating now.
There's orange tabby, brown tabby.
Okay, that's enough. I'm learning something though. I don't know breeds of cats. I really don't. I know nothing about cats other than I just like to pet them. That's it. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm not gonna hold you much longer. I thank you once again for coming on. Appreciate you. Really appreciate your time.
Yes. No, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you for this wonderful combo. It's been so fun, actually.
Yes. Likewise.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it for sure. Everybody that's tuned in, if you're watching this on the replay, we thank you for coming out. God bless you. Good night. I'll be back every Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, kicking it with KoolKard. You never know who I might have, so tune in. All right. And follow. Hit the subscribe if this is your first time looking, watching, getting some value. Hit that subscribe button. And y'all go follow her. Come follow me too on Instagram if you see what a day in the life of KoolKard is like. I don't know. I'm just talking now. Y'all have a good night, y'all. We out.